Remembering Gan Gan, Kate and William take Prince George, 9, Princess Charlotte, 8, and Prince Louis, 5, to see aircraft that transported the late Queen ahead of her funeral during a surprise visit to the Royal International Air Tattoo. The Prince and Princess of Wales and all their 3 children have visited the aircraft that transported the late Queen ahead of her funeral during a surprise visit to the Royal International Air Tattoo today. Kate, 41, looking typically chic in a beige blaze Milano blazer with a white blouse and tailored blue trousers, joined her children Prince George, 9, Princess Charlotte, 8, and Prince Louis, 5, at the Gloucestershire event. The family's first stop was a huge C-17 transporter aircraft, which was used to move the late Queen's coffin from Edinburgh to London last September. The 3 young royals have all broken up from their Lambrook school in Berkshire, and appeared solemn as they toured the plane, alongside their father, Prince William, 41. Queen Elizabeth II, who was affectionately called Gan Gan by some of her great-grandchildren, died peacefully at Balmoral on September 8, 2022. For her final journey from her beloved Scotland, the late Queen's coffin was flown from Edinburgh to London and carried by hearse to Buckingham Palace, her home of 70 years. At Edinburgh Airport on September 13, 2022, the Queen was received by the Royal Regiment of Scotland with a royal salute, before a bearer party from the Royal Air Force carried the coffin onto the aircraft, and RAF Globemaster C-17. The Prince and Princess of Wales treated their children to a day of jets, helicopters and historic planes during the day out. William, 41, and Kate were all smiles when they arrived with the young royals at the air show, where they were greeted by Wing Commander Will Essex. They were greeted by grey skies that brought heavy rain, but there were a few aircraft still in the skies before they arrived. The event was a return visit for George, who celebrates his 10th birthday on July 22. He was taken to the show by his parents in 2016, aged 3, and was pictured wearing ear defenders at the time. The royal children were dressed for a summer day in light casual clothing, and George and Charlotte, who sported a Rachel Riley dress, looked around at the rain-soaked concrete around the huge plane when they stepped from their car. They shook hands with senior members of the RAF before they were ushered up the huge ramp of the transport plane with their parents. George was given the task of partially raising the ramp and could be seen pressing the button as his father watched on. As the family progressed with the tour on the aircraft, Louis preferred to stand next to a vehicle and look out over the airfield outside. However, a board displaying information about the history of the plane had Prince Louis invested in the tour again, and he later rejoined his parents. Meanwhile, Princess Charlotte listened intently during the engagement and stayed close to her parents. However, she was led astray by her little brother, who was perplexed by something he had seen on the roof of the aircraft. Prince George was dressed in green chinos and a short-sleeved shirt for the tour, while his younger brother looked adorable in a navy jumper and matching shorts. Princess Charlotte wore a black and white striped dress with a Peter Pan-style collar and a white cardigan to keep her protected from the rain. Both Charlotte and Louis were adorable in their matching navy plimsolls as they braved the rain. The event is one of the world's biggest air shows in the world, with all proceeds made from the weekend going to the Royal Air Force Charitable Trust, supporting initiatives including engineering and flying scholarships. For her second engagement, Kate visited the Technozone, which aims to inspire young people into exploring science, technology, engineering and maths. Kate took over the role of patron for the Air Cadet organization from Prince Philip in December 2015. Meanwhile, William served with the RAF's Search and Rescue Force from 2010 to 2013, based at RAF Valley in Anglesey. The family's outing comes after a royal expert claimed William is a hands-on, caring dad and not a workaholic like his father King Charles. The Prince of Wales, 40, carried out just 190 engagements last year, compared to his father's 497, but former BBC royal correspondent Jenny Bondith praised William's different approach to royal life. She said the father of 3 is prioritizing his family because he knows how much it means to his children, Prince George, 9, Princess Charlotte, 8, and Prince Louis, 5, to be be around at weekends and holidays and whenever he can. William previously commented on the king's workaholic nature, telling a BBC documentary in 2018 that he would like to have more family time with his hard-working father. Speaking to OK! Magazine, Jenny said, with the late Queen's ailing health, William probably had to step up to his full-time royal job quicker than he might have hoped, but you can see now how committed he is. However, I also very much admire the fact that he's not a workaholic like his father. He knows how important family life is. He seems to be a full-on, hands-on, caring dad, she added. Asked in the Prince, Son and Heir, Charles at 70 BBC documentary in 2018, whether his father has time to be a grandfather on top of everything else, William answered carefully. In previous years, Charles is said to have privately expressed his frustration that he doesn't get to see as much of his grandchildren as the Middleton family, a claim his aides have always furiously dismissed. But his elder son made clear that he would like to have more family time with his hard-working father. William said, "It's something I'm working more heavily on, put it that way. I think he does have time for it, but I would like him to have more time with the children. Now he's reached his 70th year, it's a perfect time to consolidate a little bit because, as most families would do, you are worried about having them around and making sure their health's okay, and he's the fittest man I know, but equally I want him to be fit until he's 95. So having more time with him at home would be lovely, and being able to play around with the grandchildren. Because when he's there, he's brilliant. But we need him there as much as possible." William added, "He has amazing personal discipline. So, he has, and it's frustrated me in the past a lot, he has a routine. The only way to fit all of this stuff in is things have to be compartmentalized. The man never stops. I mean, when we were kids there was bags and bags and bags of work that the office just sent to him. We could barely even get to his desk to say goodnight to him."
So restless, way too reckless. Without you here, think I care less. So I fall down, and I keep doing things in the wrong way. Get stuck at the bottom. There's gotta be a better way. I got no patience to put the pieces back together. Doing all the things that bring me to the edge, and I can't stop. So when I lose myself, won't you hold me down? I got my head in the clouds, running, but I'm out of touch, out of touch, out of touch. And I fly high, in my own mind, till I crash down. I need your feet on the ground, 'cause I keep doing things in the wrong way. Get stuck at the bottom. There's gotta be a better way. I got no patience to put the pieces back together. Doing all the things that bring me to the edge, and I can't stop. So when I lose myself, won't you